Hi, everybody. Well, it's 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and it's 4 o'clock Eastern time, of course. Eastern, the king time, the one everybody goes by and makes their, I don't know, adjustments on either side. Kidding, kidding. But, yeah, here I am for another Catch Up with Mayo live stream. And, yeah, 4 o'clock for now, for most of the summer. Trying to do this every Saturday afternoon Eastern time. So, if you're catching this right now or you catch it afterwards on a playback and you'd like to come here and just check in, go into the comments, ask questions, make comments, opinions about, whatever it is I do, all kinds of stuff really, within reason. Doesn't have to just be the stuff I talk about. It could be just general stuff, but I reserve the right not to answer, depending on what it is. you know. But anyway, hello, Chris. New computer. Yes, indeed. It's a wonderful new computer. So far, no complaints. It's a Lenovo gamers computer. It's supposed to be, they got me a model that was for gaming purposes, although I do no gaming. Zilch. Zero gaming. It still was, the guy thought it would serve the purpose here, and it certainly has. He said because you do a lot of live streaming and talking and interacting with people, sometimes, on camera, go up and have shows on camera. So, you know, there you go. Widescreen monitor, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's wider than it was. That's for sure. That's for sure. Hello, Henry. What's going on? Henry, what happened? I didn't see you at the movie chat. I believe you missed the movie chat last time. Um, Woodland Goblin, what's going on? Yeah, uh, I don't play any computer games, video games. What else can I tell you? I'm battling back a nasty cough. I'm gonna have to mute myself. I don't know. I got to tell you, I've been coughing on and off for 20 years. I definitely have allergies. There's no two ways about that. And sometimes when I'm talking a lot, my throat can get dry. That's normal. I don't know really. To tell you the truth, I was taking this product. You might have heard of it. It's called Balance of Nature. I've been taking it for 3 weeks. 6 capsules, 3 capsules of fruits and vegetables, and three capsules of no, 3 capsules of fruits. See, and three capsules of vegetables. Okay, and I sometimes think it's giving me GERD or something. So I don't know, but whatever. I'll just deal with it. So I tried an experiment not taking it because it's been giving me. I've been feeling like a little more the cough thing, but there's probably no reason for me to even mention it. It doesn't usually intrude on my live streams. So okay, let's see. Hello everybody. Hello Tony. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Woodland Goblin, about the metaverse, but I'm not excited. Hello Belinda. Hello, Al. I can never say that name. The label looked red. I'm not sure what you're asking. El Chupacabra. When you made that rant about the hinged sandwich, what pop did you have with it? The label looked red. I know you said red there, right? Okay. When you said what pop, are you talking about soda? I mean, I don't know. I'm not drinking soda right now, but in the picture, I don't know. I might have used Coke in the picture. I don't know. Hello, Dino. Doing good. Just enjoying the summer. My favorite month, July, favorite season, and favorite month right now. That's why I like to put the dates on these things. I put the dates. Um, It's almost like Henry can read my mind because I actually did a rant video that I decided not to put up, and that's a rant video. I'm always looking for things, rants, and some people take the rants too seriously. They're supposed to be for fun, really. But I can't stand when I know that somebody died, and you got 119 people telling you, Tony Bennett died. Tony Bennett died. Hey, did you hear Tony Bennett died? Hey, Joe, Tony Bennett died. He died yesterday. Tony Bennett. Yeah, I know. I don't know if you're informing me or just want to discuss it. I respect Tony Bennett. I didn't know a lot of his music. I did love "Rags to Riches." That's a good song. I did love "I Left My Heart in San Francisco." A very good singer. And I'm just glad that Tony Bennett had a long life. I mean, he died at 96, and I think the last 6 years of his life, 6 or 7 years of his life, he was battling Alzheimer's, which is never good. It's one of my big fears, and you know. So, I mean, you're 96 years old. You've been battling. Your mind's not been right. You've been battling dementia, Alzheimer's, and you know what more can you say? He had a good run. God bless him. You know. How are those Hallmark Channel Christmas movies going? Yeah, my yeah, Mrs. Mayo. She watches the Hallmark Channel at Christmas time. They have this god awful thing, Christmas in July. And I really have no desire for Christmas in July. I want July to be summery and warm and everything associated with summer. I don't want anything to do with Christmas lights and Christmas bells and Christmas carols and snow and Christmas trees and all that stuff. We have enough of that coming up when the time comes, right? I don't need it in July. But she's not watching that much of that stuff, I gotta say. At least not when I'm there. Yep, that's what I'm saying. We'll all be happy to get to 96. So there you go. Uh, Hello, Penny Lane. You're in my ears and also in my eyes. So there you go. And so, Joe, you're 5'6". Short people usually live longer. Well, I'm not short. I'm shorter. Believe me. And the real reason I say that is because throughout my entire life, on a daily basis, whatever I do, whether I go to the record store, whether I go to a deli to get lunch, or whether I go in online at the bank, whatever I do, there's always some guys that are like 5'5", 5'4". So believe me. So you know, I've never had a problem with that. I've never felt at all like, oh, I'm a short guy. Never, never. I've never been an issue. But we'll skip that question, David. I won't highlight your question. But what I will say about it is that no, the whole thing with that is just that both of those restrooms were unoccupied at the time, and the idea is that supposedly that room is cleaner than the other room. So because both were unoccupied at the time, Don used the uh, cleaner room. So there you go. Don is shorter than everybody. So, what are you going to do? So, yeah, I got my faithful alien green cup of water here. Keep my throat from getting too dry. Try doing this. Try talking. I don't know how like people talk a lot, politicians and things like that. People have to speak a lot. Boy, you're going to the movies right after the stream. Is there anything you're going to see of interest? Am I going to see the Barbie movie? Not on your life. I have no interest whatsoever in the Barbie movie. No, none. Zilch. Or zero. Or Zed. Nada. Yeah, a lot of people are going to see Oppenheimer. I'm not interested in it, so I won't be seeing it. Hello, Wink. What's going on? Do I believe Penn Jillette's comments about now and then? He says John's demo had a TV on in the background. He also said that Ringo didn't want to do it at first. I don't know what to believe at this particular time. The story I understand is that Ringo didn't really want to play drums on the new track. I think somebody told me Ringo had confirmed that he already did play. He tried playing drums or did play drums on it in the '90s when they attempted it. I don't know about that, but I know there's some kind of, as far as the TV and the TV background, there is supposedly some kind of disruptive sound or noise in the back. That's one of the reasons why they didn't want to do it in 1994 or five, or when they were doing the anthology songs. So supposedly that's one of the reasons. Christopher Nolan is one of the best modern directors. There are directors I like, I guess, better than others, but to me, I don't always go by the director because to me, there are very few directors that I can watch their work and say, oh, yes, that's definitely so and so's work. It's very indicative of their style. You know, um, I don't know. I mean, they call it, is that what they call an hour tour theory? Uh, some people have a style, and some movies benefit from that. But whatever. Do you believe we'll get the remixed Red and Blue albums later this year? Well, that's what I'm hearing. And at first, my reaction was, "Who cares? I don't really want to get the Red and the Blue albums again." And I still am not that excited about it. However, I will say that Um, something people are forgetting is that even though it's the same albums released, the Red and the Blue compilations, you're still going to get songs remixed by Giles Martin that we have not heard yet. Okay, some of the early stuff from '62. Like, I don't know which songs. Trying to think. She loves you, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Or did he already do these on the one album? Now I'm rethinking. Anyway, there are definitely some songs on the Red and Blue albums that we have not yet heard remixed by Giles Martin, so that'll be different. All right. Yeah, there's an interview with John from 1980. There's some speculation as to when it is. Some people think it's the fall of 1980, like October or something. It's in the studio, and in the background, there's something being mixed. I think it's a film soundtrack. I once heard it was the film soundtrack to The Empire Strikes Back or something like that. I really don't know for sure what it is, but whatever it is, you can't really hear John very well. But there's some videos, and definitely worth watching because as much as you can hear, you can't decipher everything John's saying, but you can hear a lot of good stuff in between the mixing noises of the movie or video game or whatever you want to call it. And one of the things he talks about is, of course, Paul, and he calls Paul his brother, which is really nice. It's a really wonderful thing. Hello, Lila. Not having heard the demo, Joe, and I know you weren't keen on it, do you think it could be brilliant when finished? I have high doubts. I'm expecting that I'm going to hear it and I'm not going to enjoy it very much. That's my expectation because I don't really like that now and then song very much. However, it's possible that I could be mistaken and they could perform some magic with it. That could be really an enjoyable song. But my first impulse is to say, nah, I'm not really that. I don't hold out a lot of hope for it. But I'm not going to judge. Everybody's judging already without having heard it. You know, I don't know what it's going to sound like. But when I hear it, I'll know and I'll talk about it. You know. He also said that Giles Martin approached Ringo when Ringo himself said that Paul approached him and said, "Yeah, I'll do it. Send it to me." Okay. Don't know what the truth is. All those songs on the Red and Blue album have been remixed. Even like Old Brown Shoe. Is an Old Brown Shoe on? Maybe I'm mistaken, but I can't think of all the songs now. There's songs like the song "Girl." When was the song "Girl" ever remixed yet? From the Red album. Well, I'm forgetting the lineup right now. But there's lots of songs we haven't really heard. I think, or do I pray? I most certainly do. I talk to God. Well, this is my thing. I'm a believer, and I pray. Not the way I don't say like prayers like Our Father, Hail Mary, things like that. I speak like this. And my last movie chat, and this would be a good time for me to say, I have a movie channel too. Please subscribe if you like movies and television and things like that. It's called Mayo's Movie Marquee, and you can go over there and type it in MARQUEE, Mayo's Movie Marquee. Or if you're on my channel, you just go up to my main page with the banner, and in the right side there's a link. And we have a movie chat over there every Tuesday. But anyway, yeah, I mean, William Castle. It's funny, I know with the Night Walker. I think Hayden Rourke is in that. That's the one with. I think that's Doctor Bellows from My Dream of Jeannie, right? And I've never seen it, but I know about it. And there's a lot of things that Barbara Stanwyck is in, of course, that I need to see. Really. Do I prefer more rock sounding songs or more pop bouncy sounding songs? Both. Usually you can pick. It's 50-50, I would say. I don't have a preference. I like them both. Henry is going after Woodland Goblin. Henry, knock it off, please. I'm being very patient with you, as you can attest to. We're not here to fight in the comment section, at least not on this. Okay, well, not ever really, but not on this chat. No way. Oh yeah, wouldn't I be tired of buying Sergeant Pepper again? Sure, sure. Why not? Yeah, but I mean, why not? I'm saying it backwards. Why? Why? Yes, of course. I don't want to buy the same thing over and over again. Really. But you know, it came out in 2017 and was remixed. Did a good job. I don't think you need it again, but if different technologies happen, and this stuff they can do with Peter Jackson's MAL technology. How many more times can the Beatles tunes be remixed? Isn't it getting silly? Well, I agree it's getting silly, but you got to understand some of them have yet to be remixed, like the Please Please Me album with the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, Help, right, and Rubber Soul. They're not done yet, so those have not been really like those need work. I mean, I'll go along with that. We've enjoyed them this much for 50, 60 years. We're fine with it as is if nothing ever got done else. But with this routine now of kind of like modernizing, making them like more fixed up with the technology of today and stuff, and trying to whatever they were doing with the Giles Martin mixes. In other words, they haven't done those yet, so those have not been done to death. Those albums. I mean, I just recently heard Now and Then Again, and John's voice is not complete on there. He's just like he's not even really singing on it that I can decipher. It's maybe a little. No, I'm not going to see Barbie. Not a chance. I just I just kind of said that before, but you didn't hear me. I know sometimes people join late in the chat. I realize that a couple of you, Astro and Henry, have some history going on here or something. Yeah, take it elsewhere, you know. And I don't seriously, I wish there was something I could do. I'm not going to block both of you, if that's for sure. But I wish there was a better way of just getting rid of the comment. With but when you do the options here, you have put user in a timeout or ban user and delete their comments. They should just be delete comment, period, without banning the user, but they don't have that. So, like I said, take it somewhere else, not here. Chris, yeah, right. It'll be nice to hear the drums and the bass up in the mixes on the early stuff. I agree. Ringo's drums are too loud, and of course, Paul's still with us too, and he's going to get what he wants. Funny how the bass always gets raised in these, right? Isn't that interesting? But seriously, the drums need some loving. They need to get boosted up in the early tracks. I would love them to be able to do that. Uh, yeah, definitely. It's just that I wind up going back to the old ones anyway, most of the time. I mean, none of these new Giles Martin mixes are my so-called go-to releases. Every time I want to hear an album by the Beatles, which isn't that often anymore, I mean, I can go months without hearing them. But when I do, I usually go for maybe the 2009 CDs, or even if I'm playing records, I play even the Capitol albums, okay, which I like. Uh, I don't know. At this point, I don't expect anything, mind games or anything, honestly, because the Lennon estate hasn't said anything. The only thing we know is there's going to be this new Beatles song and something about the Red and the Blue albums redone again. But we haven't heard anything about what's going on with Paul, John, or George or Ringo as far as their own stuff, solo stuff. So I have hopes, but I don't know. Don't know for sure. I haven't heard anything yet. Okay, don't know anything about that. Okay, Woodlands he guesses no Rubber Soul Stereo remix until 2024 probably, and I'm happy about that. Well, we don't know. We still don't know for sure. Maybe they'll surprise us and put one out for December or something. I think if there is going to be a Rubber Soul this year, it's going to be late in the year. But yeah, we might skip a year actually. Let me just see something here. We can messages here. I'm trying to. Sorry, folks. With my phone here. There needs to be a Talk More Talk episode on John's underrated rhythm guitar playing. It's never talked about. That's interesting. Although, usually, Talk More Talk is about the solo Beatles. I mean, we talk about the Beatles as a group when there's something new coming out, like, whether it's the new Beatles song or maybe the Red and the Blue albums, we'll probably do a show on that. But most of the time, we discuss solo Beatles, but that's something that maybe could be discussed on another show, like not Talk More Talk, Jesus, Fab Gab. There's a lot of show titles running around in my head. Fab Gab. Some people say that George played bass on Old Brown Shoe, and there's always difference of opinion. Some people say no, Paul played the bass on Old Brown Shoe, and some people say no, actually George did on that one. And I'll tell you, the bass is excellent. I love the bass. The bass is the highlight in many ways of Old Brown Shoe. So whoever plays it, it's a great job. Uh, I don't know. A lot of people say things about all the Beatles as musicians. Even the Beatles themselves actually, you know, conceded that they're not the greatest musicians, really. Although I think Ringo's pretty proud of himself as a drummer. Well, there's lots of speculations like this, now and then being included on a bonus EP with the Red and the Blue albums, maybe remix versions. Free as a Bird and Real Love, maybe Carnival of Light. There's all kinds of speculation, it's just guessing, and it's fun to guess and speculate, but we don't know. And I will say that I agree with you. I would like to have remixed versions of Free as a Bird and Real Love. I think both of those songs could use a little cleaning up, a little more uh, enhanced sound, vocals, especially in Free as a Bird, so we really get John up front. Thank you very much, Henry. I appreciate that. Henry. Henry's got a super chat down there. Anybody else like to do a super chat? Be my guest. No arguments. How come I'm drawing a blank on what that BC13 box is? Because I'm going to feel stupid when you tell me, but I don't really know what that is. I'm drawing a blank on that, what that is. So, and I'm happy just to dance with you. That's a good example. You would soon realize his playing was more than just rhythm. Oh, I see. That was an answer to Woodland saying, "How can John's rhythm guitar be underrated? Rhythm guitar is just that, rhythm guitar." Laugh out loud. Well, that's ridiculous because you could say the same thing about bass. You could say bass is just bass. I mean, boom, 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 boom. And Paul McCartney managed to make it very melodic and interesting. So I mean, am I right? I mean, I'm not a musician, you know that, but I know what I hear and what I like and don't like. You know. Yeah, definitely. I think that Ringo definitely spoke up for John with that. And how about All My Loving? All My Loving, those guitar triplets that John does on All My Loving are fantastic. Okay, the stereo box set blue color. Um, I had that once and I sold it. You know, and if I ever see a really nice one and the price is right, I'll get an improved one. Well, the one I got had was pretty sharp. I just needed money at the time. Do I still feel the same way about Revolution One? Yes, I do. I don't like it very much. I like the fast version of Revolution much better. It's my go-to version of Revolution. I think it's kind of tame and safe and kind of. I mean, it's not a terrible song. I can enjoy it when I listen to it on the White Album. And I do not like the Shooby Doos on it. I think that's really stupid. It's they make it. Why even say that? It's not even like it's a It's not like it doesn't have a real 50 sound to it, so I don't know. I don't even know why they say that, you know? There you go. In the Get Back documentary, it states that the version of For You Blue is used on the album, but George doesn't say Bobcat Bob or Go Johnny Go on the Elmore James bit. Now I have to watch that again because I don't remember. Now, does it say that parts of it appear? Sometimes they say parts of this version or this version, parts, something like that. I don't know. I have to watch the documentary again, but I know they do that. They say, in some cases, this is the version that was released or whatever. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. I still say there's. I don't care. I disagree with you. There's no place, in my opinion, for shooby doo on Revolution One. It is the most stupid thing. It doesn't fit at all, and there's no need for it. So no, I remember there being a 1950s rock and roll revival in the early 1970s. American Graffiti, Happy Days. That was like 1973 and 74, which was much before 68. But even if there was a rock and roll revival in the late '60s, which I won't doubt you that there are, there was, doesn't make a difference to me. I say it doesn't fit the album, and it doesn't fit that song. Most importantly, So no, I think it fits even worse. I think the Shooby Doo Wop is even more out of place and more idiotic and ridiculous on that wonderful promo film that they do. There they are doing the fast, hard, rockin' version of it, and they say "shooby doo" on that. It doesn't even. That sounds nothing like the '50s. You might as well go. I don't know. They might as well go. Don't you know what's going to be? Hey, Daddy-O. All right, yeah, Daddy-O. Swing it, baby, Daddy-O. They might as well have done that. It doesn't fit the song at all, and it's even worse, in my opinion, on the rockin' version that they filmed as the promotional film for Revolution. So, yep, 3 weeks till the Beatle Fest in Chicago. I will not be there. If anybody's wondering, I will not be there. I keep thinking that one of these years I'll get to Chicago. I've never been to Chicago. I've never been to a Chicago Beatle Fest. Um, I don't know about next year. Next year, I thought I might try to do two. I might try to go to the New York one, which I'll certainly be at. New York, February of '64. Celebration in 2024. Maybe the other one too in Chicago in the summer. I don't know. Farrell McNulty likes the Shooby Doo Wops. I love people that insist that they're right. That's what makes the Beatles. I mean, this is an opinion because they blended together different styles of music. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Would you want them to go yesterday, doo wah, like they did All My Troubles Seem So Far Away? There's a little joke like that on the Christmas album. Doo wop, all my troubles. Give me a break. You know, there you go. Somebody else agrees with me. Thank you. It doesn't matter. Even if, I mean, I appreciate the agreement, but everybody can definitely have their own opinion, or sometimes they match, sometimes they don't. Um, Do I prefer to cycle or walk? You mean ride a bicycle? Well, I walk just about every day. I mean, there's times when I miss a couple of days because of different things going on. I missed 2 days, but today I got back on track. I try to walk every day because I'm not working. I'm retired, and I was a mailman, and for almost 30 years I walked all the time, and now I'm not. So I want to make sure that I keep things going, and that's mostly for health reasons to keep the circulation going, keep the knees strong. Um, the lungs and all that, and yeah, whatever side benefits there are aside from that too, you know, is fine with me. But yeah, I don't have nothing against riding a bike. Once you learn, you never forget. I haven't ridden a bike in a long time, but yeah, sure, I got no problem with that. Here we go. George recorded the vocal for "For You Blue" on January the 8th of 1970. Okay, there you go. So then the movie's wrong. I don't know. Yeah, hi Peter. Yeah, it's not as bad as when Paul performed yesterday with Jay-Z in Lincoln Park at the Grammys. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. Hello, Adam. No need to call me sir. Please do not call me that. It's not you're too formal. You don't need to be that formal. Hey Joe, how are you? Is fine with me. And Blood Vessel, Mr. Blood Vessel says Matt the Hoople pulled off the 50s inflections rather well. Now I do like the doo-woppy feel to the song "Oh Darling." But they don't actually say doo-wah, doo-wah, shooby-doo, shooby-doo. They don't say that in "Oh Darling," but it has like a feeling, like a kind of doo-woppy feeling to that song. There is no doo-woppy feel. I don't hear any shooby-doo-wop or doo-wop feeling to Revolution One at all. Ah, good one. I like that. Marcus says it makes Revolution One softer. The edge diminishes with the stupid shooby doo wop. Maybe that was Paul's input. Laugh out loud. Well, I don't know if it was, but good joke. Yes, I love 50s music. Why? Are you trying to come up with some kind of a point? Let's see. I like 50s music, absolutely. Um, do I like all 50s music? I find that if I listen to a lot of stations that play a lot of, you know the one I mean, like they're 50s music that you don't know, like it's not like popular, it's just like some group you never heard of doing doo-wop music. It can be very, very like dull and boring. But the best of the 50s, oh, I'm consider myself a fan thanks to my mom for getting me into her 50s music. Well, she didn't get me into it herself. She had a collection, and I played her collection when I was a kid. Okay, well, here you go. Leave it to Woodland, even though he's agreeing with Henry there. I'm not going to give you a written information. Well, not going to give you a written invitation, Woodland Goblin. Just spit it out. I'm sorry. Wow, this is I need more sleep, I think sometimes. I meant to say Adam. Adam, I'm not going to give you a written invitation. You don't have to ask permission. It depends. I like a lot of Italian horror films. There's some Italian horror films which are nice, and giallo films they call them. Giallo, giallo. Yes, I don't agree with John on everything. I mean, why do I have to? I love these people. We go through this all the time. Oh, so you don't agree with John on? No, I don't. I don't agree with John on every word he ever uttered, everything he ever breathed, every idea he ever had, like you do with Paul. You love everything about Paul to the point where you can't criticize him, but I'm not like that. All right, so John thought of the Shooby Doo Wops, and I say, hey, John, Johnny, babe, they sucked. How do you like that? Okay, you happy now? I mean, really, it's kind of amazing. There's a lot of Glorias. Which one are you talking about? The Glorious song by Laura Branigan? Because I love that song. I don't care what anybody says. And I also like the one Gloria, Gloria, that one too. So, I don't care for either, man. I never saw Lord of the Rings, but I've seen clips from it, and I've seen a lot. I've seen more Harry Potter in my place on that TV to last enough to last me a lifetime. Nothing changed with The Walking Dead. I happened to be in a place where there were a couple of versions, seasons or whatever of The Walking Dead. I'm looking for one here. I can't find it now. Very cheap, used on Blu-ray, so I decided to pick it up. You know, there you go. Yeah, I don't mind it on that at all. I like the Bop Shoo Bop or whatever it is on the song Boys, which itself is a cover version from the Shirelles, so it's a song. I don't know. Would I say the Doors were the closest to the American Beatles? Would I call them the American Beatles? No. If I spent the night with a smoking hot Beatles fan chick at her place, would you drink hard liquor with her? Absolutely. Absolutely. Any invitations? Well, when it comes to The Walking Dead, I'm just fed up with zombies. I mean, that's the reason I never watched it. I mean, I've seen a few episodes of The Walking Dead. I actually saw the whole first season. I saw the whole first season, and then I had enough, and I didn't watch anymore. And then occasionally after that, I'd turn the TV on now and then, and I'd catch episodes here and there, or bits of episodes of later seasons. But overall, the whole Walking Dead zombie thing, I'm kind of fed up with that. I don't know if I ever drank whiskey. I don't think so. Yes, I know. The Walking Dead more about the characters. The zombies are more of a backdrop. It has to be because I always wondered for years before they even made the Walking Dead TV show. I always wondered how could they ever make a TV show like that? What's it going to be about? The only way for it to exist and flourish is for them to have interesting characters other than the monsters. You know. I don't think anybody can be compared to the Beatles, American or British. I don't think so. I sometimes call the Supremes, the girl group, I call them sometimes the female Beatles, only in the sense that they have so many great hit singles, so many hits. But other than that, there's really nobody, in my opinion. So, what was my hobby before the internet and the channel? Well, what they always are, really. Movies, you know. Always loved movies, always a big hobby, and music, the Beatles in particular. I mean, those are my hobbies. My whole life has been really the music and movies, pretty much, and collecting comic books, things like that. You know, so sure. My last short shows you were a YouTuber before YouTube. Yeah, that was a. I put up one with my friend Mike, who passed away. Mike was a great Elvis fan, and he collected Elvis. I collected Beatles, and we used to go to the city in Manhattan and used to go for a lot of records and everything. And I say this all the time. The man, my friend Mike, died in 2010. I miss him a lot. He died, 2 years before I came onto YouTube. If he was alive, we could have made some amazing videos. Let me tell you, you wouldn't believe if you think me and Anthony are funny. Anthony's nothing. No offense, my friend Anthony. You are nothing compared to what Mike Simonetti could have done on here. And his interest in Elvis, he would have had an Elvis channel for sure, I think. But yeah, I put up a video on the shorts with my friend Mike. That was from 1994. Um, okay. Um, do I like Bohemian Rhapsody? I think I would hit. It's funny. I don't really care for the song. I like I like the beginning part well enough. You know, the slow part and all that. When they start getting into that ridiculous operetta stuff, I think it's still silly. I hate that operetta stuff. I'm sorry. So I like the part where it's slow and everything, but I don't like that. The part. I'm not even going to act it out when they start getting stupid. I don't know. I just can't stand that. And do I think it's overrated? I understand. Even though I don't like it, I can see it as being a special song. I can't say that song is overrated. I understand why it's highly rated. I understand why a lot of people like it. It's just not for me. That song. Thank you all for your good wishes about my friend. I always prefer doing the office, so to speak, here. I always rather be here. And, I'm going to be back at that place after the summer's over. I'm going to be back into that, and these things may change to Sunday mornings again. I don't know if what works better for you people? Saturday afternoons, Eastern time, we're talking. I know for Lila in England, it's nighttime. It's in England right now. It's, almost 10 p.m. in England. But do you prefer this time or do you prefer the morning times? It doesn't matter. I mean, I have to do it whenever I can do it. I'm a little confused by your question. When you started this channel as it is, well, I started this on May 23rd, 2020. Oh, geez, 2012. Geez, I'm sorry, 2012. I started this on May 23rd, 2012. That's when I started this channel, and it started out just about collecting records. Really, it was a record collecting channel. So, Adam, I'm drawing a blank on Adam Lambert. Okay, what's my favorite meal? Well, I hate to say it because, and I haven't had it. Well, no, actually, I had it once. But my favorite meal is. You surprised? Anybody surprised? Pasta, any kind of pasta, ravioli, spaghetti. You name it. Anything like that with the sauce. That's my favorite. But um, I'm trying to cut down on carbs, so I'm not eating pasta right now. I fully admit that, and you can see when you look at my videos, there are changes. There are changes, ups and downs, and because I go back and forth, and the idea is to stay consistent. But anyway, yeah, and I like chicken parmesan too, by the way. Sure, anything parmesan, it's good stuff. This is a hard question. Best male and female vocalist of all time? Barbara Streisand is a pretty damn good vocalist. Is she the best? I don't know, but Barbara Streisand comes to mind as like maybe the best vocalist. But you know, that's not that's not in the rock vein. Um, And as far as male goes, that's really tough. That's tough. You know, Elvis is one of them. Bing Crosby. I put Bing Crosby up there before I put Frank Sinatra vocally, I think, but they're just off the top of my head. Depends what you're looking for. Rock, you know, crooning, you know. What film should be newly digitally remastered? But I got to say, Lila, you really have a good array of questions. At least you come up with some different questions. It must be tough to come up with all these questions. What film should be newly digitally remastered? Oh, geez, I'm trying to think. I know they're out there because a lot of films I want to see newly digitally remastered, and I can't think right now. Oh, you got me. I need more time to think about that. But there's lots of films I want to come out. I could name a lot of films that are not out yet at all on digital, remaster. But yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm sorry. And David says, please don't go back to the Sunday morning time slot. I have to juggle listening to you with watching my Sunday morning news talk shows. Well, I know what you're saying, and I appreciate that. But the reason I have to figure this out, how I'm going to do this, is I have to find something to do on those Sunday mornings while I'm waiting around for Miss Mayo. You know what I mean? Um, because that's really what I'm doing. I'm keeping myself occupied with a show, because I'm really there for her, and I got to figure. So, but maybe I could do some other show. I may be. I mean, who knows? I'll see what happens in the future. Maybe I'll be able to keep doing this on Saturdays at this time, and then Sunday mornings I can do something else. Maybe I don't know. We'll find out. Well, sure I do. I like cheesecake, but I don't eat it that often. Wow, Woodland says Elvis is the best male vocalist of all time. I thought you would say Paul, but well, I can tell that Freddie Mercury was a great vocalist, even though I only like a few Queen songs. I think I don't get the whole Queen thing either. I mean, there are definitely some Queen songs that I like. You know, Sandy Denny. Marcus says, speaking of food, has anybody done the "Hey, that looks good" thing to you recently? No. What he's referring to is I made a rant video. Check out my rant videos, Rancid Mayo. I'm talking about like when you do something like you're trying to be really good and you go out to a restaurant and somebody gets like steak and potatoes, another person gets like a big plate of linguine, you know, uh, or fettuccine alfredo or something, and you get a salad. And your salad comes, and they look at your salad. They go, hey, that's a good looking salad. That looks good. That salad. And you look at them and you say, "What the hell are you talking about, man?" I mean, I said, "Why don't you order it? You eat it." You know, that I think it's funny because they say that to be helpful, to be kind, to kind of like say as much to say, "Boy, that looks pretty good. If you're eating salad, that looks like a good salad." It's like, you know what? Shut up. You say that in the most playful of ways possible. But Uh, that was funny. You gave me a good laugh there, Marcus. Thank you for that. I give everybody laughs here. I try to give people laughs with a lot of my funny content at the record store and stuff. But I like to get a laugh too now and then. Here you go. Here's somebody who thinks Paul McCartney's a better singer than Elvis. Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I disagree. For one thing, Elvis was an inspiration to Paul McCartney, and in the early days, he tried to sound like Elvis a lot, like on the Decca audition tapes, for example. Can you please give advice? Best way to get started making new YouTube videos and starting a channel? I've thought about making a video like that, a tutorial. Well, not a tutorial, but advice. People want to know. Look, all I could say is I got lucky with this particular channel, Mean Mr. Mayo, because um, I don't know. I think I started the game early on, and I think back when I started, I was kind of one of the very few Beatles oriented channels, solely Beatles. I think I might have been. I don't know if I won't say the first, but I know that there weren't that many. Now there are a lot, and they do good work. Absolutely, no doubt about it. But anyway, um, I think. Well, first of all, you try to get a topic that you think that people are going to be interested in, something that there's an audience for. And I think the main thing you have to do is, if you really want it to be successful, if there's the first rule I would say is consistency. You have to keep making videos. And to start with, I would say don't make any less than one new video per week at the minimum one new video per week. Or, as I try to do, not always successfully, I try to do now with this channel, one every 24 hours. You know, you have to, yeah, because, a lot of people, they disappear and then they come back. They say, I noticed that, Tom. I'm subscribed to people like that. They say, "Oh, sorry, it's been so long since I made a video." "Oh, really? I forgot who you were. Who are you again?" It's like anything. But that's my first thing. There's other tips I have. But I have the movie channel too, Mayo's Movie Marquee, and I'm not consistent with that. I can go weeks without doing a video, and that channel's just not taking off, even though it's movies. And I still don't understand that really. I thought there's enough people out there that would like movies. Movies is a big topic, right? But there are a lot of great movie channels out there. A lot of great movie channels that show you clips of films. I don't show you clips of films on my movie channel, so maybe that has something to do with it. Why it's not really big, but I can't grow. I don't seem to be able to grow that channel. I'm trying, but it's not growing very big. Is the record store that I always make videos from the biggest one in my location? I don't think it's the biggest one, but I think it's the best. But it depends what. It's definitely not the biggest. I'll say it's not the biggest, but it's the best. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for brand new releases, new things that come out, brand new, that's not the best store, my store. However, if you're looking for used stuff, old albums that have been used but in really nice shape. As you can see, look at all. If you look at my record finds videos over the past 11 years, you'll see a lot of beautiful albums in shrink wrap and really without shrink wrap, but still beautiful. And that's because they only really take the best stuff. Really, not a lot of junk. Favorite Michael Jackson song? Well, I do like Michael Jackson a lot, and it's hard to say. When I say Michael Jackson, I'm talking also about the Jackson 5. Is that cheating? Let me know if that's cheating. Let me know, down below. I love the song Ben. Yes, I do, from the movie called Ben. Forget the fact that it's about a rat. The movie's about a rat, and the song is about a rat. A rat. Ben the Killer Rat. But no, I really love that song. And I love I'll Be There. Uh, Got to Be There. With the Jackson 5, I love ABC. Is my favorite Jackson 5 song, ABC. When it comes to Michael Jackson later years, I really like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. It's like one of my favorite. And Billie Jean. But Billie Jean, some of those songs from Thriller are very, very played out to me by now. I really got into Thriller and all those Michael Jackson songs back in the day when I was going to clubs and I was dancing and everything. But those songs have really gotten played out. So uh, I have some family in the area over there. Where am I? But we are not close. I was wondering what would you recommend if one to move on their own to New York. Oh, geez. I wouldn't recommend New York, but that's just me, you know. Um, I can see that we have somebody here who does not like Elvis very much, Henry. That's everybody's got their opinions. Sunday mornings with Joe are the best. Well, he's a fan of the Sunday morning show. Yes, Roy Orbison, good pick, Martin. Roy Orbison has a fantastic voice. Yeah, and a fantastic singer. Yeah. I do love Stevie Nicks. I like Stevie Nicks and Christine McVie also, two of my favorite singers. Do I have a favorite TV show that I'm currently watching at the moment? I have a lot of TV series, TV series on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, but currently I'm not watching one of them right now. But I could name some favorite series. I mean, I like sitcoms, a lot of them, All in the Family, The Odd Couple, um, The King of Queens, The Honeymooners, I Love Lucy, I like Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David. Among these are among the. Did I say The Odd Couple? Probably. I don't know if I said that. The Odd Couple. It goes on like that. I like some Chicago stuff, for sure. Yeah, I like Sam Cooke very much too. Very good vocalist. Yes. Hello, Stan. In the UK, if your home caught fire, which one LP would you rescue? Wow. Yeah, that's the kind of thing too I'd have to think about. But heaven forbid you had a fire, you wouldn't have time to think, would you? Um, I'd probably try to reach. I have a bunch of autographed albums, ones that have signatures on them. That's probably the first ones that I'd think about saving, with the ones with the autographs on them. Oh boy, you're killing me, Henry. You're killing me. I don't often like choosing between songs, but geez, both of those are perfect songs, Rhiannon and Landslide. I'm gonna go with Rhiannon, but just by a little hair, you know. David says Elvis's singing voice was sublime in the 2 years or so after he left the army. After that, it was never the same again. I respectfully disagree. I think that Elvis had an amazing voice right up to the end in the 70s and everything, too. If you've never heard of Landslide until now, you got to listen to it. It's a Stevie Nicks song. Maybe you don't know the name of it, but you've heard the song before. Well, it's a Fleetwood Mac song, really. Stevie Nicks does the vocals on that one. It's her song, but it's Fleetwood Mac. And to think, we got somebody out there that resembles a drowned rat who thinks, this guy don't like anything else but the Beatles. Ah. Get some psychiatric help, will you? I mean, God. Oh, it cracks me up. Um, yeah, Stevie Nicks was a very good songwriter as well as a singer, I think. Yes, there's a guy, the Gilgo Beach Killer. Yeah, Corey at the record store. Yeah, she must have seen that in the newspaper, didn't you? I was there the other day when a newspaper writer came into the record store to say, Corey, you know that killer? And it's really there's nothing to say about it. He just went into the store once, and Corey instantly remembered him. He was because he's easy to remember, and he didn't really. He tried to sell CDs. I think the guy wanted to sell CDs. Yeah, oh, that's what you said. Duh. Yeah, there's not much to say about it. There's no story. The person was looking for a good story, but there wasn't a very good story. And my other friends with the owners of the other record stores in my location, no. I mean, that's one thing, I mean, this dynamic that we have here, where we're kind of friendly and we can make videos together and do the record store reality videos that I do. in my store. That's not something you can do everywhere, unfortunately. Look at this question. Do you think we should go back to the moon to get clearer footage with today's technology? I suppose it's okay. I'm just looking for questions. Hang on, folks. I know we got some people there. I'm really behind, I think, so I'm trying to catch up. Uh, Look at this. Henry says, I like Elvis, but Michael Jackson was not only a fantastic vocalist, but a phenomenal dancer. Elvis moved his hips around. Michael was just insane with his moves. You think Elvis could moonwalk? Look, Elvis is the king of rock and roll. I don't even want to know nothing about it. And you call Michael Jackson, I guess, it's the self-proclaimed king of pop. But whatever. McCartney's the king of pop as far as I'm concerned, but that's all right. Elvis is like the first man on the moon. It's only one man, all others followed. There were people before Elvis, too. Let's be honest about that. Elvis made it very white, but there were performers before Elvis. Let's not forget. Well, I don't know about before or what the order they came in, but you had people, along with Elvis. Don't forget, you also had Chuck Berry and Little Richard, for God's sake. Well, that's why he never heard of Landslide. He thought Landslide was a musical group. You're forgiven. You're forgiven, Woodland. In my opinion, who's more iconic these days between Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman? I gotta go along with Dracula. It's a good question. Something different. Hello there, Caleb. What's on your so-called mind? Yeah, exactly. What's on our so-called minds? All of us. Yeah, there's a honeymooners episode where they adopt a baby. Um, it might be one of the lost episodes. You know. Here's Free Come Mike saying, "You do only like the Beatles." Yeah. Yeah, you might have to change your name to, I don't know, something to do with a drowned rat or something because the guy, he's changed his name. It's not Precode anymore. Same stupid idiot, same vile, hateful human being that's going to. He's going to be winding up not getting into the pearly gates. He thinks he's getting into paradise, unless he changes his ways. Jehovah says no. You got to be nicer to people. You like so much different music. Since you like so much different music, put yourself to good use. Why don't you make videos only about new music? Look what I've discovered. I recommend this to you. This is a good album. Come on. Stop being jealous of everybody else. Just focus on yourself. Focus. Focus. My favorite kind is any kind. Pretty much. Does Anthony ever watch any of my videos with him in them? Yeah, of course. After we make the videos, he does. He does indeed. He watches them back. Who did I see for my first concert, and what year was that? That question's come up before, but I never really know. I think my mother took us to see. I remember her taking us to see the Fifth Dimension actually at some small outdoor event, in the 70s. I seem to remember that. So I know the Fifth Dimension, if you know, and was one of the first ones. I don't know why I want to say the Beach Boys also, but I'm not. I can't swear to that. And again, I'm talking about the 70s, but I can't swear to that one. I definitely remember Fifth Dimension though. The thing about UFO, I don't know what's up with that, David. Yeah, stories about UFO. I don't follow them. I have mixed feelings on UFOs. You know, my whole feeling about that is that, if these things were like all over the place, it's basically like for however long it's been, 100 years or more, or whatever. These UFOs flying all over, none of them ever land. None of them ever do anything. None of them ever comes of it. They just mysteriously go and go up and down and disappear. They just like to like play around a little bit with us and then leave. I don't understand that. Uh, Oh, Michael Jackson did not. That's even worse. Elizabeth Taylor call. I now I vaguely remember that. Now that you mentioned it, James. Elizabeth Taylor christened Michael the King of Pop. Do I think the Beatles are more famous today than Beethoven? I most certainly do. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just mean what I mean by that is maybe not overall when you mention the name. But the Beatles, most people today, more younger people are more apt to know the Beatles than Beethoven. Younger people and new generations, I think they have more staying power than Beethoven. How does that sound? Okay, whatever gets you through the night, or say. Well, whatever gets you through the night by a mile. I do like say. I'm not coming down on it. I do like say. But I like whatever gets you through the night better. And I'm not even a big fan of whatever gets you through the night. Okay, hello, Adam. I just thought of you, Joe. I was at my deli and the girl got my order wrong because she was on her phone. Ugh, oh man. Of course, I commiserate with you, brother. Absolutely. Boy, what a world, huh? Has anyone ever objected to you making or appearing in your videos? No, not at all. Yeah, Corey does not appear much anymore in them. Yeah, he's not really in. Well, he is not really into it anymore, actually. Do me a favor, Martin. Don't even bring any attention to it. I do a good job. I don't pay any attention to them, so don't you either. Let's see. Okay, talking about Elvis, more about Elvis's catalog. Do I own any Beethoven records in my collection? Not that I know of. I might own. They might be somewhere on some records that I'm not aware of. Uh, there have been tons of first-hand accounts of UFO landings dating back to the 50s. Why does nothing come of it? Why does nothing come of it? I mean, if they're going to land, do something. You know what I mean? Do something. I'm not one. The funny thing is, Woodland, I've never been one of those guys my entire life. Even if when I was a little kid, I was never one of those guys to not believe anything. Oh, I can't stand people that say I'm not going to believe it until I see it. I got to see it, and then I'll believe it. I've never been one of those snobby people. However, I'm not sure about UFOs though. I don't know. So, hello, Syndicate. Syndicate. I'm trying to think when I'm going to wrap this up. It's already gone on a little longer than I'd like it to. I don't want it to go more than 90 minutes. That's a bit much, though. Yeah, I don't know what it is about whatever gets you through the night. Your Kit and I are not big fans of that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I said it was chaotic. I don't remember why. I like the new version that Sean helped out on mixing it for the "Give Me Some Truth" album, where they put more John up front, a little Elton, a little lighter. I think there wasn't enough John on it, maybe his voice, but overall, I don't think it's really a great song. I like this earlier, slower takes. I like the earlier evolution of what the song "Whatever Gets You Through the Night." I think I like that even better. I don't listen to BB King, but I've certainly seen BB King on television and on videos, and he's amazing. Yes, I don't own any. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Paul co-wrote "Give Me Some Truth." Yeah, there's that little bit where you see them in the Get Back film, which is kind of surprising, seeing Paul actually starting out with the lyrics. Paul and John both kind of working on that in the Get Back film. I wish I had an answer for this. I have a huge record collection, right, with stuff, but is there a crown jewel in it? I don't know. You tell me. Because I'm looking over there, I don't really know. See, I don't think I have anything that's really a standout, amazing album. Like, in other words, I have a lot of very good albums that are popular and they're in great shape. You know what I mean? They stand out maybe in the condition that they're in. But other than that, all right. I think I've caught up on the comments. And I mean, I definitely have more time to kill. I don't have to be gone for a while yet. I kind of play this by ear. I just don't like the playback video to be too long. It's hard enough for people to watch the 45 minutes to an hour, but some people enjoy it. Some people, hey, when I'm out walking, I'll have earbuds on, and I'll be listening to shows that I've missed, and sometimes a show that's long enough helps. So sometimes people do that. They listen to playbacks later when it's more convenient for them, you know, whether it's in their car or maybe even on the TV. Who knows? But yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I get a feeling it's kind of like winding down a little bit right now. So, Joe, you going out to dinner tonight? I think I might. No, we're not. You see, the problem, what happens is that a lot of times, Miss Mayo, she is out working and I pick her up, but I pick her up pretty late. She works till like 7:30 p.m. and then we usually have something to be cooked. But I understand completely when by the time we get home, it can be 8 p.m. or even late, a little later than 8, something like that. And she doesn't really feel like cooking. I don't blame her in the least. Now you may say, why don't I do the cooking? Well, that's because other than boiling water and cooking spaghetti and making tuna fish, you know, there's not much else really that I know about cooking. But so a lot of times we do go out to eat, but that costs money. And these days, I don't have to tell you, if you're eating out, even in a local place, a diner or something that's not really a big fancy restaurant, it costs a lot of money. Too much money. It's pathetic. And we spend money we really shouldn't because, and that's what we did last night. She took some pork chops out, defrosted them, and then I picked her up last night. It's at like by the time we got home it was close to 8 o'clock, and she's like, "I really don't feel like cooking." I said, "I don't blame you." So she said, "You want to go out to eat?" I said, "Okay." And if that happen, it can happen. That cannot happen all the time. Not and she's not always that late. There's sometimes when she's earlier, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. It's more reasonable. But yeah. Anyway, because it hit the hour mark, we were all expecting you to end it, so the questions dry up. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I feel bad. Sometimes I wonder if coming here once a week is too much because you can't get that many questions, right? But I just have this thing where I like to keep in touch with my viewers. I like to be out there. I mean, some people they don't comment. They don't read their comments, or they don't even acknowledge the commenters, or they don't make live streams to communicate. You know, so Please don't talk about pasta. I'm trying to forget it. But it's funny. I usually am not that crazy about the way it's made outside. I usually like to make it at home better, believe it or not. You know. So, do I have any original Beatles related movie posters, one sheet, lobby card, etc.? I'm thinking actually, when it comes to one sheet movies and lobby cards, I don't, I don't, I don't think I have any originals, believe it or not. Well, anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you all for being here. This has been, as you know, Catch Up with Mayo. I'm going to try to do it again next Saturday about the same time, which is 4 p.m., 4 o'clock Eastern. So please try to be here if you want, and save your questions for next time if you remember them. A couple of things I want to promote here. First of all, my other channel, which is a movie channel, and of course, it's called Mayo's Movie Marquee. Follow the link on my channel page. You'll find it on the banner on the top right, or just go over and type it in. If you want to subscribe, I'll eventually be doing movie content. We do a movie discussion every Tuesday. Every Tuesday night. Sorry, George. Good to see you here, but we're just wrapping up. Please be over there. Also, I do a show called Talk More Talk, which is a solo Beatles podcast that's on YouTube also. Subscribe to that, Talk More Talk. This show that's coming up is going to be Monday night. We do them every other Monday, and we're due for one that I think I'm the moderator this time. And the show is going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Live. That's Talk More Talk, 9 p.m. Eastern Live. And the topic this time is going to be talking about Paul's, I don't know how to say it, Choba B CCCP, the Russian rock and roll album that came out, and we're also going to discuss John Lennon's 1975 rock and roll album. We're going to kind of weigh the two in. Paul's first rock and roll album, John's first rock and roll album of oldies solo albums. We're going to talk about those. A lot of people are saying, why don't you talk about the Run Devil Run album? Well, that's because Paul would have two albums and um, John will only have one. But I do suspect that somehow we will somehow get around to talking a little bit about the rock and roll album. So thank you all for being here. It's always great, everybody showing their support. Thanks so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, etc. And I'll see you very soon for one of these other discussions coming up next. So thanks, folks.